Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. The Cuyahoga County Foreclosure Mediation Program assists homeowners to work with their lenders in order to keep their homes. Program Director Andrea Kinast and Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas Judge Pamela Barker are here to tell us more about the program and who is eligible for help. Later on today, we'll hear from the President and CEO of Neon Health Services, Willie Austin, and Chief Operating Officer Karen Butler. And on the program after that, Alan Seifela of the Anansi Artists Alliance and Sheba Marcus Bay of East Cleveland Public Library will tell us about a tribute to Miles Davis, the great jazz man. It's taking place on October the 10th. Good morning, everybody. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin with Andrea Kinast, who's Program Director of the Cuyahoga County Foreclosure Mediation Program, and Judge Pamela Barker of Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court, who's also involved with this foreclosure mediation program. The judge is in the house. Your Honor, Your Honor. Good to have you both with us. Let's begin with you, though. Andrea, tell me about this program of foreclosure mediation program. What is it doing?
Right, well, so we started the program 6 years ago when the foreclosure crisis was really hitting home here in Cuyahoga County. And since then, we've grown the program. We have 5 dedicated foreclosure mediators. The goal really is to bring a property owner and the servicer or lender or whoever filed the foreclosure action together at the table and try and work something out to keep that property owner in the home if that's what they want to do.
Okay, let's talk about who's eligible for all of this. Judge Pamela Barker, who is eligible?
Well, actually, we send out any time that a foreclosure action is filed in Cuyahoga County with the summons that goes out to the homeowner. We send a foreclosure mediation form that they fill out with particular information about their income and their obligations and so forth. And we provide them with the contact information to get that back to our foreclosure mediation program. And once that's back to the court, then the mediators, the program will look at the information contained therein. A lot of times those that are eligible are those that have just gotten somewhat behind on their payments. They've had some bump in the road along the way, but they're in a position now with an income where they can resolve perhaps the foreclosure problem with a payment plan or a loan modification plan.
Goal is to keep folks in their home if we can keep them in their home.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you try to work out a program. Now, how does this process work? You talk to the lender, and you got the person whose home is being foreclosed on, and how do we stop that foreclosure from taking place if we can?
That's right. So, you know, the first thing that we do is we'll bring the property owner and the attorney for the bank together, and we sit down at what we call our pre-mediation conference, and we really try and figure out what issue is that property owner having, what hardship have they experienced, and what might come up that would be hurdles in the mediation process, because we want to take care and clean up as many of those as we can so that we can have a successful mediation.
This was ground zero for the foreclosure crisis, which hit several years ago, right?
It really was.
Judge, is this just for Cuyahoga County now? Because I know you're a Cuyahoga County judge, so I don't want to assume, but I'll just ask you, is this just for Cuyahoga County?
Well, we're talking here today about the Cuyahoga County program, but I know that Justice Moyer, formerly Chief Justice Thomas Moyer with the Supreme Court, who's since passed away, but he saw a need across the state to put into play this kind of program because he understood what the crisis was with the predatory lending and some other things that were taking place back in 2008 with the recession and so forth. He saw a need, and I must say that it's been great to get the courts involved to have these programs because the success rate over the last, since 2008 has been 67%, and just this year it's 76%. And I think that the statistics show that we've basically kept about 10,000 homeowners in Cuyahoga County alone in their homes, and that's the size of a small municipality.
Exactly. So folks have to jump on this now. I mean, when they're getting those red letters written in red saying foreclosure, they need to jump on this and not ignore it. You've got to deal with it, right, Andrea?
That's right. I mean, we are constantly during the month of September, and when we focus on our outreach for the court, we try and really encourage property owners to open their mail. And really, people are inundated because the foreclosure filing is a public record, so they're going to get notices from attorneys, from maybe organizations wanting to help. There's a lot of information they'll be getting, but they need to open the complaint that comes from the court and pull out our request form. There's a notice form that goes out. It gives some information on great resources that are here in the county. They're free, they're HUD approved, both housing counseling resources and legal resources to help a property owner through the foreclosure process.
We've got a phone number on the screen, and we want to keep that phone number up for somebody who may be really in trouble right now today and needing to talk to somebody about foreclosure. But that phone number is 216-698-7138. You can get more information on that. And you can also go to the website. It's cp.cuyahogacounty.us/foreclosure mediation. I've got that on the bottom of the screen too, as much as that's a long one, but certainly if you can't get all of that, if they make a phone call.
That's right.
Judge, this is vital to you. You see a lot in your job as a common pleas court judge.
Yes.
But this is vital. This is actually saving lives. This is a little different aspect of what you are normally doing.
This is a wonderful aspect of the court, and we've certainly been very appreciative of the response that we've had and the participation and the knowledge and education that our mediators are giving to the community. In fact, we're out and about this month because it is Save Our Homes, and we're giving educational talks at Euclid Public Library. Is Monday evening from 6 to 8. There have been lunch and learns at various locations throughout Cuyahoga County.
So we don't get into the foreclosure pipeline.
Right, and you want to give them some advice up front.
Yeah.
And like Andrea said, you need to open the mail when it comes, and you need to stay in your homes. It's not a situation where you get that notice or of the action of foreclosure and take some kind of drastic action and think you're just going to give up. You need to call, get the foreclosure mediation form filled out, seek the assistance that we offer, because the goal really is, if you're involved in that foreclosure mediation program, that foreclosure action is stayed. In other words, it's on hold.
Giving new meaning to the old phrase, home, sweet home.
Exactly.
Thank you. Appreciate your being with us. Andrea Kinast, Program Director for the Cuyahoga County Foreclosure Mediation Program, and Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas Judge Pamela Barker, also involved in the program too. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Good to have you on the broadcast. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back with more Kaleidoscope after this. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm glad to have you with me today. The president and the CEO of Neon Health Services, Willie Austin, and the Chief Operating Officer, Karen Butler, are both here to talk about the mission of that organization and about a fundraiser taking place in October to benefit the organization as well. Good to have you with us, Willie Austin, President and CEO of Neon Health Services, and Karen Butler, Chief Operating Officer of Neon Health Services. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Mr. CEO, Willie Austin, my good friend, what's the mission of the Northeast Ohio Neighborhood Health Services, or NEON? What do you do there?
Well, we provide health care, but the mission is to enhance the quality of care of Northeast Ohio residents through quality, comprehensive, preventive health care in a caring, culturally sensitive manner.
Yeah, you've got a lot of programs and a lot of services that all fit under that umbrella of NEON and healthcare services, right?
Yes, we like to think of ourselves as a one-stop shop. And in there you can get internal medicine services, pediatric services, OBGYN services, dental services, optometry, podiatry. We have our own in-house x-ray laboratory. We also have behavioral health, a plethora of social services, nutrition services.
If it's in the human body, you've got it. You've got it covered.
The only thing we don't do is all of the specialty services, in which case we refer those to others who take care of that.
Okay, and I knew you were telling me before we started the program today that you've got 7 locations around the area here, around Northeast
We have
Ohio.
7 locations, around 6 in the Cleveland area, 1 in East Cleveland. We also provide services to the local Job Corps and 3 other nursing homes. And so we try to make ourselves available wherever health care is needed.
Willie Austin, thank goodness you're here. thank goodness for what you and the Neon folks are doing. We appreciate that. Of course, you want to raise some money too, because it takes money to do all of this, right?
Exactly.
Right, Karen Butler. Tell me about this this program you've got coming up.
Absolutely. Well, we have a wonderful planning committee that's put together an exciting event. We call it our Jazz in the Garden, Behold the Power of Touch fundraising gala. And it's a spectacular event. It's intended to be multicultural. We're partnering with the Asian community, and we anticipate that our guests will have a wonderful, wonderful evening. There'll be breathtaking dance performances. We'll have 8 sumptuous food stations, which is really unique, and we'll have exceptional entertainment provided by 3 separate bands, including the Benjamins, Forecast, and Councilman Kevin Conwell and Footprints, along with entertainment from our Asian partners. So this will be unique, and our viewers, I tell you, you don't want to miss it.
It's going to be kicking. It's going to be it's going to be jamming. This is a little brochure that they've got out, and I think you kind of get the feeling of how that Jazz in the Garden is going to be. I know it's going to be on October the 11th, Saturday, October the 11th, and at 6:30?
It's 6:30 to midnight at the Executive Caters at Lander Haven.
And Lander Haven is in Mayfield Village. And this is a good thing because it raises money for you and your organization, right, Willie?
It does. And the VIP session starts at 6.
Yes.
Okay. So why is this so vital for you to raise that money now? Because we want to make a connection between the music and the health services.
Well, it's vital because in this competitive world of healthcare, money gets scarce, and we want to be around another 47 years. And so as a part of our drive to do that, we are initiating with this fundraiser a endowment investment or donor program. And the reason for that is that we like to think of ourselves as where the rubber meets the road,
right,
or in the trenches. And our mission is, of course, to keep people healthy. They may come to us sick, but then we keep them well after we get
when they walk out that door. You want them feeling a lot better.
And we provide family doctors who follow them for the rest of their time with us. And so it's not like some places where you go, you may see a resident or an intern, and the next day, next visit, somebody different. We like to keep it consistent.
Karen, how can we get tickets for Jazz in the Garden Saturday, October the 11th at Lander Executive Caters at Lander Haven?
Okay, I would direct our viewers to call us at 216-231-7700, extension 1125, or check us out on our website, www.neonhealth.org, and they can click onto the events site, and they'll have all of the information that they need.
Just as you were speaking about that, our wonderful control room had all that information right at the bottom of the screen. So if they and what's the cost? What's the cost of the tickets, by the way?
Ticket prices are $125 for individual. There are sponsorships available for tables, and there's also opportunities to provide support through ads.
So we're going to have the rhythm and the rhyme of jazz.
Absolutely.
And we're going to tie all of that into helping the heartbeats and the pulses and the breathing of the people of Greater Cleveland.
Exactly.
Going to tie it all together. Well, many thanks, Willie Austin, President and CEO of Neon Health Services, for being on the broadcast, and Karen Butler, who's Chief Operating Officer for Neon Health Services. And once again, the Jazz in the Garden is going to be Saturday, October the 11th, 6:30, Executive Caters at Lander Haven.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hit the drum head, hit the cymbal, and we're off running. Okay.
Very
Thank you so
excited.
much.
Thanks
for being on the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.
This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb, and I'll be right back in a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Good to have you aboard. The Anansi Artists Alliance and the East Cleveland Public Library are hosting an event paying tribute to the late, great Miles Davis. Executive Director of the East Cleveland Public Library, Sheba Marcus Bay, is here along with Alan Seifela of the Anansi Artists Alliance. They're going to tell us more about the big event coming up featuring local musician Kenny Davis. My good friend Kenny Davis. Love his trumpet music. We'll talk about that in a moment. Alan, let's start with you. Tell me about the mission of the Anansi Artists Alliance. What is it?
Well, we want to celebrate all the arts. So we want to bring them all together, whether it's visual arts, music, poetry, writing, dance, or whatever. Bring it all together and sort of feed off of each other's energy. So we want to use the art to create positive social movement. And our focus is East Cleveland, so that's where we want to focus our energies at this point.
Somebody once said that humans need bread and water, things like that, but humans also need art.
Art.
Of all kinds.
Right.
And you would agree with that, wouldn't you, Sheba Marcus Bay, is Executive Director of the East Cleveland Public Library?
I do agree, definitely.
You've got an alliance here with the Anansi Artists Alliance. Tell me about this alliance, this collaboration.
So I was approached by the alliance to partner with them, with Quincy Troop. Of course, he's a writer, and we are always excited about highlighting writers. Of course, he was the biographer of Miles Davis, so it's a natural fit. We have a performing arts center, so with the performing arts center, we have the opportunity to showcase Mr. Davis as well as Mr. Kenny Davis.
I'll be showcasing Kenny Davis playing the works of Miles
Right.
Davis. I like that. I've got a little brochure here that we're going to hold up. We'll get a shot of this. Now tell me about this event. This is going to be October the 10th at the East Cleveland Public Library, right?
Yes, it'll be held in the Greg L. Reese Performing Arts Center, and with that being the case, it'll be a chance for people to listen to Mr. Troop come and talk about his work with Miles Davis. So it'll be an opportunity for people to listen about his work with Miles, and also a Q&A, and then afterwards we're going to follow up with some entertainment.
And Alan, this is all part of your overall philosophy of bringing the arts to the public and letting the public expand its vision of arts, in this instance music.
Right. Quincy Troop wrote Miles' autobiography. Miles wrote his autobiography, but it's with Quincy Troop.
Yeah.
So I don't know of very many people that know more about Miles than Quincy. So he's going to speak about Miles the man, and then Kenny Davis, no relationship to Miles, but Kenny will then perform, and his quartet will form the music of Miles. We'll also have artists distributing, showing their work, and our featured artist is also going to have some works on Miles Davis. So we'll have art on display, and we'll have a great program.
Yeah. And I will tell you, Sheba Marcus Bay, you and I were chatting, and Alan were chatting before we started the broadcast today. Miles Davis had a big impact on my life. I've been listening to Miles since I was a kid, and when I was 17 years old, I had a chance to hear the great Miles Davis play live with John Coltrane as his sideman at a jazz club here in Cleveland. We were high school boys, a couple of us, and we went to a jazz club. And Miles Davis, one of the seminal sounds of American music, jazz music, and he's gone now, but his music still resonates very much. You want people to get that same feeling when they come and hear this, the Quincy Troop and the Kenny Davis Quartet play Miles Davis, the man, and his music.
Most definitely, and we're partnering with the Friends of the East Cleveland Public Library. It is a fundraiser to support cultural arts and enrichment in East Cleveland, of course. We're going to have tickets for sale. The Friends will have tickets for sale for $15. So this is really important for people to get exposure and to support our artists in East Cleveland.
October the 10th at the East Cleveland Public Library, and that's at 14101 Euclid Avenue in East Cleveland, of course, the public library. And what a ticket cost to get in?
$15.
$15.
It's a bargain. It's a bargain for this program.
I mean, and to hear live music.
Right.
Live music.
Yep.
And that's going to be October the 10th. Just a wonderful opportunity. You are in the arts. I've got a minute remaining. You are in the arts as director of the library. So you think about art all the time, books and movies and all the things that you have there. What do you want the public to take away from this event?
Well, we want to highlight the cultural resource of the library as well as the Anansi Alliance. We want to develop people's awareness for an intellectual and cultural life, and we want them to walk away excited about music. Jazz is probably it's just one of the most fascinating art forms out there, and with the Performing Arts Center, we are always happy to get people in there to enjoy some good quality music.
You would agree, Alan Seifel, jazz is America's classical music.
Our contribution, one of our gifts to the world. You know, there's no place that you can go in the world that you can't find a good jazz club.
And whenever we are anywhere in the world, we look for good jazz clubs.
Right.
Good to have you with us, Alan Seifela and Sheba Marcus Bay, Executive Director of the East Cleveland Public Library, and Alan Seifela with the Anansi Artists Alliance. And once again, we'll give it a good plug. It's going to be Friday, October the 10th, 6 o'clock at the East Cleveland Public Library. And for 3 hours, they are going to jam with the music of Miles Davis. Miles Davis, the man and his music, featuring Quincy Troop and the Kenny Davis Quartet. I've worked with Kenny, just a marvelous trumpet man.
Yes,
He's one of my favorites.
All right.
Okay. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you.
Taking a break. I'll be right back with more of Kaleidoscope after this. The Morning Exchange segment means it is the time for the Urban League, and today from the Urban League is Samia Bray. She joins us. She works with finding resources as she works with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Hey, Samia.
Absolutely. Hey, Leon, how are you?
I'm okay. What's going on today?
Wow, well, it's always a pleasure. Miss Maccabee sends her best.
Oh,
She's
thank you.
traveling today, so she asked me if I just come and share with our listening audience about our upcoming MyCom workshops. We have a series of workshops that are designed for youth providers, anybody that's working with young people. That's anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. We have a series of professional development workshops that, thank goodness, from our sponsors, MyCom, and they have an opportunity to come to these workshops for free.
And this kind of gives you a heads up, gives you a little impetus, gives you a little some thoughts on how to better work with young people.
Absolutely. So, for example, we just had a session on Friday, on the 3rd of October, and we were teaching youth providers on reframing conflict, so taking conflict and helping young people shift that toward opportunity versus being caught in the conflict. And then in the afternoon, we taught them about structure and clear limits, because it's very important when you're working with young people to always have structure and clear limits.
Isn't that the truth?
Gave them some tools on how to do both of those things, reframe conflict and give structure. So this series provides workshops all the way through December.
And of course, these are building blocks for the youngsters too. Building blocks to their successful lives into adulthood.
Yes. We would like to say adults don't have conflict, right?
Well, some do. Some do have conflict. Well, so people can contact the Urban League and get more information on your upcoming workshops, right?
Absolutely. They just call us at 216-622-0999, and anyone who answers the phone can give them more information.
And ask for information about the workshops.
The MyCom workshops.
MyCom, M-Y-C-O-M.
Yes.
That's going to do it for us.
All right. Take care.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.